Yo, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the tri state areas of New Jersey and Connecticut, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Rhymes with now or later. Your host with the most, Mr. Still Lonely Nomad, Unstoppable Independent Podcaster, Creator, YouTuber, Queens, New York native, who's also a New York Mets fan, New York Giants fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. You are now rocking with me by listening, tuning in, streaming, and watching the 443rd episode of the comedy Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. And man, oh man, I got a jam lineup full of topics for you today, including an event that's going down tomorrow at the Brooklyn Bowl. And you want to know who's going to be there? I will talk about that in a few minutes. All right, so stay tuned for that. We're live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube and the comfort of my room where I do my podcast recordings on this platform to talk about various topics based on the segments, based on what's going on with mass transit and whether it's subways, buses, LIRR, the Metro Norths, the New Jersey Transit. I hear there's been a lot of craziness going on after the aftermath of the Snowmageddon blizzard. So I'm gonna recap what's going on. We might be in for another snowstorm tonight and through tomorrow and possibly next week too. So without further ado, in the meantime, do me a favor. Click on that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page. Leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics being discussed. Tell me how you feel about the topics and everything else in between. You can even comment in the community tab. I forgot to mention that after I did a couple of episodes. You can even go to the community tab right there, where I actually make some postings about the episodes and topics. Well, yeah, the topics and stuff. So yeah. There you go. And yeah, I hope everybody, including the nurses, the radio personalities from your Hot 97s, the Power 15.1s, the iHeart Radios, Z100, and sports like SNY, ESPN, and all the other sports headquarters were able to keep themselves warm. I hope they are okay. And alongside with podcasters, EMTs, cops, firefighters, I hope every single one of y'all are okay while keeping every single street safe. Because we're not out of the woods yet, though. We might be in for another snowstorm. So you might want to have enough salt for your sidewalks, your driveways, and hopefully all the bus stops are cleared and shoveled off alongside with the bus shelters. All right. So yeah. All right. So let's cut to the chase, do some recapping of what's going on, do some transit talk as far as the snowstorm. I know Staten Island is the forgotten borough that also got mountains of snow and one of the dead end streets and the other streets as well, which is fucking crazy. Anyway, man, let's get into this right here, man. The New York Mass Transit Files, man. We gotta have some transit talk right here. And how do they prepare for this next Snowmageddon blizzard? All right, let's get into it right here, man. So there you go. Hold on. All right, some recapping that we got to do. Um, some recapping of what we got to do actually in terms of transit. Let's let's talk about what went down recently. Um, okay, so some recapping to do. Let's do this. So, um, all right. Here's what's happening here. So, according to AM New York, as a powerful blizzard continued to pound New York City, which took place on Monday, which was 2 days ago. The MTA is running modified subway and bus service and has suspended Long Island Railroad operations indefinitely. By the way, the travel ban has been lifted, and the travel ban has been lifted and stuff, so you don't gotta worry about that right there. Now, MTA Chair and CEO Jano Lieber, in a series of Monday morning TV and radio interviews, said most subway lines are operating with some changes amid the record snowfall. Around 7:30 a.m. on February 23rd, Lieber acknowledged some lines were experiencing major issues, including the L train facing significant delays, the C train and the Staten Island Railway both being temporarily suspended, and A train running local rather than express service. He added that trains are also running less frequently. Many of these lines, which run above ground over some of the more than 200 miles of subway tracks citywide, are exposed to the elements. And by the way, I did see that there's been some video of some of the railroad tracks still covered with snow where the LIRR trains usually run. So they have to make sure that the third rail track is fully cleared while some of the workers are trying to clear the subway. Not no no excuse me, some of the workers who are working for the MTA has to make sure that every single track is cleared, especially with all the snow. It has to be a fucking hassle for these guys right there. So yeah, that's crazy, man. Anyway, anyway, that's crazy, man. So many of these lines, which run above ground over some of the more than 200 miles of subway tracks citywide, are exposed to the elements. The reason that the system is moving more slowly than usual and with less frequency is because we still have those snow fighting trains and the de-icing trains out there on the system clearing snow, Lieber said on Fox 5, referring to specialized trains designed to keep snow and ice from gathering on the tracks. And he said, in quote, "We got to let them do their thing," he continued. And that means that, the trains are going to be operating a little less frequently. The ongoing winter storm had already buried many parts of the city in at least 15 inches of snow by 7 a.m. on Monday, with a wintry conditions and strong winds persisting throughout the morning. Mayor Zoran Mandani issued a travel ban on city roads for all non-essential personnel through noon and declared a public school snow day for students the the first the first since 2019. Last month's snowstorm forced public schools to move to virtual instruction for a day. Yeah, that was the COVID era, folks. Lieber advised New Yorkers who must travel to use public transit. Yeah, public transit. All of the city's buses have been running since they have had their tires chained, LIRR said, but service is less frequent and reliable than usual as the vehicles contend with the hazardous conditions and the city continues to plow its streets. By the way, I did take a look at a video recently on YouTube in terms of a Fresh Pond MTA New York City bus that was stuck. The thing, here's the thing, the front wheels barely move. They were stuck. And I'm glad that there's no passengers inside that bus on that particular day, because it would have been catastrophic. It would have been a catastrophe. It would have been a catastrophe, man. Believe it or not, man. Yeah, but it is a nightmare when it comes to snowstorms like this, though. Especially with mountains of snow, people barely getting to the bus stops because of the mountains of snow and ice. And hopefully the streets don't have any black ice, because if that happens, it's gonna be some major, major fucking issues. Believe it or not, man. And we might be getting more snow tomorrow, like tonight through tomorrow. No, tonight and then tomorrow night. So be prepared. Be sure you stay safe, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's continue. Let's see. Where did I leave off here? Hmm. Where is it? So hold on. Okay, so yeah, so all of the city's buses have been running since they have had their tires chained, Lever said, but service is less frequent and reliable than usual as the vehicles contend with the hazardous conditions and the city continues to plow its streets. A little side note on the articulated 60-footer buses have been taken out because they cannot sustain this type of weather. So that's why you don't see them on the streets. All right, so Lever during a Monday morning afternoon news conference at NYC Management's Brooklyn headquarters, alongside Mondani, said that some buses have gotten stuck, but that the MTA is working with the city to dig them out. Asked about clearing sheltered bus stops as a task that falls on the city rather than the state-run MTA. Lieber said Mondani has made it a priority during Monday's blizzard. The responsibility for clearing unsheltered bus stops falls on private property owners adjacent to the stops, which is the JC Deco. We're really hopeful that we're going to see clearing of bus stops made a priority as the storm winds down, Lieber said on Pix 11. Mandani said on Sunday that the city is geotagging unsheltered bus stops, sidewalks, and crosswalks to better understand where the city still needs to shovel. During the Monday press conference, Mandani said the city cleared close to 900 bus stops, 1,600 crosswalks, and 419 fire hydrants overnight, and even more since then. The focus on clearing bus stops comes after Mandani faced criticism following last month's snowstorm over not moving quickly enough to remove piles of snow and ice from them. Meanwhile, the Long Island Railroad is suspended indefinitely, LIRR said, as Nassau and Suffolk counties get pummeled by the storm. Some eastern parts of Long Island have already seen upwards of 20 inches of snowfall. He said it is still unclear when MTA crews will be able to clear the tracks and restore Long Island commuter rail service. When the wind dies down and we can be sure how the drifting has settled, that's what we know. We have a situation where we can clear the snow fully, make sure the third rail is operational, he said. Obviously, we're going to shoot to try to operate service tomorrow, which was Tuesday. But right now, it's just too early to say when that suspension will be lifted. But we're studying it carefully and trying to get ready for that moment. LIRR said that the MTA has been running passenger-free LIRR trains on Monday in order to prevent ice from gathering on the tracks. He added that the agency plans to run some service on the LIRR on Tuesday, but it is currently unclear how much. Unlike the LIRR, the MTA's other commuter rail, Metro North, is operating but on a weekend schedule. The last time the MTA suspended LIRR service along with Metro North was in February 2021. That's interesting. Wow. 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 Okay, so let's go on to the because this is crazy, man. What is it? So let's go to our next one right here. Paratransit. Okay. Public transit makes New York City thrive, but the reality is not everyone is able to get around using the existing network of subways, buses, and railroads. For 200,000 New Yorkers, New York City's paratransit system is that critical safety net, allowing them to participate in this great city. That's why I'm thrilled that 2025 was paratransit's biggest year ever, with more than 11 million trips delivered. That's 1 million times New Yorkers got where they needed to go when no other service could do the job. As I've said in this column before, we've changed the way we operate to achieve the high level of reliability that riders demand and deserve. We've invested in new paratransit vehicles, in technology tools that empower customers, and in growing the network of broker vendors and drivers. The payoff: 80% customer satisfaction and a 20% increase in trips delivered year over year. We've made it easier for New Yorkers to apply for paratransit and to book and track their trips with digital tools. Half of all applicants now start the process online, and more than 10,000 trips are booked each day with our My AAR app. With new technology and better processes, we're speeding up service at our call center and booking trips more efficiently. And riders took all those trips last year. 97% of them were picked up on time. As a result, customers got more time back in their day, and we were able to actually lower our cost per trip in 2025 compared to the year before. New York City Transit is proud to provide this service, but we can't do it alone. As our city and transit system continue down the road to universal accessibility, paratransit helps fill critical gaps. With demand for high quality paratransit service booming, we need the city to continue its smart investment in the New Yorkers who depend on this service. Operating world-class transit service, including paratransit, relies in part on the decisions of city leaders and the value I know ready they already place our transit system. We look forward to working together with our new partners in City Hall to build on the success of 2025 in the years to come. That's Demetrius Critchlow, who is the president of the New York City Transit. Let's see. Let's see. This is crazy though, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna cover the travel ban. Okay, so all right. Okay, so never heard of this, but riders requesting wheelchair accessible for hire vehicles and taxis continue to face disparities in service, according to a report published Tuesday by the New York Lawyers for the Public Interest. The report comes on the same day Governor Kathy Hochul reversed course on her plan to start testing for hire self-driving cars outside of New York City. Dubbed Left Behind across New York State, the report shows that riders in the state, including in the Big Apple, have difficulty finding wheelchair accessible vehicles through apps like like Uber and Lyft. Um, yeah, that's wow. All right. Despite a significant fleet of over 106,000 FHVs in NYC, only 7% of the fleet is composed of wheelchair accessible vehicles, according to the study, thus leading to significantly lower wait times for disabled riders. Although 2019 rules have resulted in a modest increase in the number of fully accessible FHVs within NYC, which is New York City. And the report shows riders with disabilities face longer wait times and lower vehicle availability than riders requesting other vehicles with identical routes and times. Lyft showed the largest disparity with an average wait time of 9 minutes for WAVs compared to only 4.1 minutes for inaccessible vehicles. But Uber also showed differences in wait times between WAVs and inaccessible vehicles with average wait times of 4.3 minutes for WAVs and only 2.3 minutes for inaccessible vehicles. Yeah, sorry for the tongue twister, folks. Just bear with me. Um, Josh Gold, a spokesperson for Uber, said the company rejects the premise that the lag time is significant. While a difference exists, we also reject the premise that a roughly 2 minute difference in reported wait times is significant, he said in a statement. WAV trips often require additional time for safe boarding and proper securement before a trip is formally started in the app, a step that does not apply to non-accessible trips and can influence how wait times are measured. Gold also cited improvements to to the WAV program. In quote, we've expanded the number of WAV drivers on the platform, increased trip volume, and built the largest, most reliable wheelchair accessible networks in the country, he said. A Lyft spokesperson said the company meets all applicable WAV service level agreements. In quote, Lyft meets all applicable WAV service level agreements required by local regulators and currently has thousands of WAVs actively serving riders in New York City, helping improve transit options for people with mobility challenges, the spokesperson said. While we always strive to expand and improve our service, characterizations that we do not prioritize accessibility are misleading and overlook the meaningful progress we've made. Curb, a ride hailing app that only sends out taxis, um, showed the smallest disparity in estimated wait times for WAVs, with an average wait time of 3.8 minutes for a WAV versus a 3.2-minute average wait time for an inaccessible taxi. Our commitment to accessibility is unwavering. As the most accessible fleet in the nation, we will always work to ensure that people with disabilities have the same access of transportation as everyone else. NYC TLC spokesperson um, Parziel, James Parziel said, since 2019, we've seen a 1,200% increase in accessible Uber and Lyft vehicles and implemented rules that have significantly brought down wait times for accessible trip requests. Shahali Mendez, policy and legislative coordinator at NYLPI, said it is disheartening to see the results of the study. We deserve a system that works for everyone, not just those who can use standard for hire vehicles, Mendez said. New York must invest in accessible electric vehicles and hold companies like Uber and Lyft accountable for proven equitable services across the state. Another finding from the study shows that ride apps often list the WAV option below options for luxury vehicles, energy efficient green vehicles, and pet transportation services. Mandate mandate autonomous FHVs be 100% accessible. Researchers listed several ways the state can make rideshare travel easier for disabled New Yorkers, including mandating that any autonomous vehicles licensed to operate in the Empire State are 100% accessible. They also recommended issuing a request for proposals for fully accessible electric vehicle models that can be deployed in FHV and taxi fleets. No one anywhere in New York should be left behind simply because they use a wheelchair, Mendez said. State Senator Julia Salazar of Brooklyn said New York's transportation system should be inclusive, effective, and efficient. Excuse me. While zeroing in on FHVs, this report makes it clear that New York must take legislative action to address the disparities that exist within the for-hire vehicle industry, including by banning surge pricing for accessible vehicles and mandating that autonomous cars in our state be 100% accessible, she said. Okay. Next, we got to talk about what's going on in New Jersey, part of the tri-state area. I want to actually get into this because recently there has been an issue, so we have to talk about this. And this is according to ABC7, by the way. So basically, what happened was The New Jersey Transit trains have been rerouted to Hoboken for the start of the Portal Bridge cutover weekday schedule. According to NJ Transit and MNE and mobile trains to NYC are being diverted to Hoboken with cross honoring options from Hoboken to NYC. Hoboken's path station is expected to be the busiest location for Manhattan bound riders during peak hours, as New Jersey Transit's Midtown Direct Rail service will temporarily operate to Hoboken instead of New York Penn Station, officials warn. Many commuters are bracing for schedule changes and overcrowded platforms. I think the evening rush is going to be the worst. Hang on a second. Yeah, I think it's going to be. Hang on a second. Yeah, I think it's going to be. Hang on. Yeah, I think the evening rush is going to be the worst because everyone's going to come out of the path at the same time. There's not a lot of space, Maplewood resident Tim Parlin said. NJ Transit and Amtrak commuters can anticipate potential delays, cancellations, and schedule changes for the next month. On Sunday morning, some 27 trains were canceled. Officials with NJ Transit, New Jersey Transit to be exact, issued an apology to riders Sunday after canceling those trains, citing engineer staffing under their collective bargaining agreement that gives them 48 hours to select their new assignments. New Jersey Transit called it a temporary transition issue. This all comes as Amtrak started the first stage to transfer rail service from the century-old Portal Bridge to the new Portal North Bridge over the Hackensack River. The work began Sunday and will continue through March 13th. All rail lines except the Atlantic City rail line will undergo temporary service adjustments. To all you New Jerseyans, this one's for you actually. So listen carefully. The Portal Bridge has been a nemesis and a nightmare for decades for riders on the Northeast Corridor, New Jersey Transit CEO Chris Calori said. In the end, there will be a brand new bridge for the first time in 116 years. Damn. Damn, that shit's gonna suck, man. With the installation of this new bridge, getting home will be easier, according to Calori, who says the bridge is even more critical to the corridor than the new tunnels. The arches of the new replacement bridge are already in place over the Hackensack River. It's higher and won't have to open. New Jersey Transit is asking riders for patience while it reduces service from 48 to 18 trains per hour. Trains will have added capacity, but they'll have to make more stops. Some commuters told Eyewitness News that they are leaving 30 minutes earlier and they expect to get home at least an hour later than normal. Left earlier than usual, planning to go through Hoboken and see what happens. I have a new baby at home, so it's an unfortunate time for our family to be excuse me, it's an unfortunate time for our family for this disruption, of course, but hopefully everything will go smoothly. Maplewood, New Jersey resident Daniel Feinberg said on his morning commute. The new the new Portal North Bridge is expected to improve reliability and fewer bridge related delays and increase operational resilience along the Northeast Corridor. Once both tracks are in service on the new bridge, the original bridge will be permanently removed from service and the new bridge will accommodate all traffic. Service changes to know: weekday Midtown direct trains on the Morris and Access, Gladstone Branch, and Montclair um Boone Boonton line will be diverted to Hoboken. Mid excuse me, Weekend Midtown direct trains will operate to from New York Penn Station. Midtown direct customers on the M and E, Gladstone Branch, and Montclair Boonton line should purchase tickets passes with a destination of Hoboken in lieu of New York. Of course, honoring with New York Waterway ferries will be in effect on weekdays between Hoboken Terminal and West 39th Street in Midtown Manhattan. Ferry service to Midtown Manhattan will be enhanced during the morning and evening peak periods. Cross honoring will be in effect with path at Hoboken and 33rd Street only. New Jersey Transit's 126 bus to from PABT. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to know more information about these changes as far as New Jersey Transit and Amtrak, you visit njtransit.com and amtrak.com. So there you go. There you go. Let's see what else we got going on in transit talk. Let me see. All right. According to the Gothamist, here are some things that's been canceled in New York. Let's get into it right here. So, New York City and the rest of the Northeast is bracing for an intense nor'easter forecast to bring blizzard conditions that took place Sunday evening into Monday. Of course, state of emergency have been declared for the city, Long Island, the Hudson Valley, and all of New Jersey. I hope everybody, including a cousin of mine in New Jersey, is all right during this blizzard snowmageddon. Governor Kathy Hochul described 6 p.m. Sunday as the witching hour when the worst of the storm will begin to hit. Authorities in both states are urging people to stay home during the storm as travel is expected to be dangerous and difficult. Transit agencies have already planned modified schedules for Monday and warned that further cancellations and changes could come depending on the weather. By the way, the MTA has an app where you can keep track. It's called the Train Tracker app. You could go to your Apple store or your Google Play Store to download it so you could keep track of your LIRR trains and everything else. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani announced that the city's public schools will be closed Monday and there won't be any online classes either due to the incoming blizzard. The previous travel ban was in effect for much of the region from Sunday evening to Monday morning. Air travel is already facing major disruptions with 1.746 flights canceled on Sunday at JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark combined as of 4 p.m. According to the tracking service Flight Aware, rail travelers should check service with Amtrak, which has begun modifying or canceling trips on Sunday and Monday. All right, so closures and cancellations as the region hunkers down for the snow. Of course, New York, the MTA will run a special S shuttle service replacing a train service between Rockaway Boulevard, Rockaway Park, and Far Rockaway starting at 3 p.m. Sunday. I hope the folks, including a friend of mine, who is near the A train station. Hopefully, all the people over there, including him, get their power back. There's been some power outages and stuff, so hopefully they get their power back. The Staten Island Railway will run every half hour on Monday with no express service. Long Island Railroad will suspend service starting at 1 a.m. Monday. Metro North will run hourly service on the Harlem, Hudson, and New Haven lines, and weekend service on the Connecticut and Wassaic branches. The FAA is expecting to issue ground stops at JFK and LaGuardia airports later Sunday, which would block planes from landing at those airports. Westchester County is warning Beeline riders to expect cancellations and detours Sunday and Monday, which already happened. The county has also issued a complete roads ban overnight from 9 p.m. Sunday to 10 a.m. Monday, which already happened. Like I said, it's going to be more snow action, so we're not out of the woods yet. Commercial vehicle restrictions on I-84 and all roadways south will take effect. That took effect at 4 p.m. CUNY colleges and offices will shift to remote learning and work Sunday and Monday. Suffolk County Community College has canceled all classes and events Sunday after 12. Adelphi University will close its campus and satellite centers at 1 p.m. on Sunday, and they'll remain closed Monday. The Broadway League has announced all shows except for Operation Mincemeat. Operation Mincemeat. Yes, Operation Mincemeat, excuse me, on Sunday with curtain times at 6 p.m. or later have been canceled. Let's see. Hempstead Public Schools will be closed Monday. Yonkers Public Schools will be closed. Well, actually, that happened already. This is a little recap that I'm doing. And what happened in New Jersey, state offices will be closed on Monday, which happened already. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's going to be some more snow. So and by the way, man, we're 23 days away from spring, folks. So by the time we hit Thursday, it'll be 22 days. So I'll keep counting down the days to spring, folks. So don't worry about that. NJ Transit has already suspended service on the Princeton Dinky shuttle and plans to halt bus, light rail, and access link service that took place on Sunday at 6 p.m. Train service will be suspended at 9 p.m. The C Streak ferry system will make its final departure from New Jersey at 2:10 p.m. and its final departure from New York at 3:30 p.m. on Sunday overnight. Parking at C Streaks New Jersey lots will not be allowed on Monday. Damn. Yeah, so what happened was the Hudson County Community College has closed its campus as of Sunday, but remote work and classes will begin as scheduled. The FAA is expecting to issue ground stops at Newark Airport later Sunday, which would block planes from landing there. Commercial vehicles banned from highways across the state starting at 3 p.m. Sunday. This does not apply to the New Jersey Turnpike or the Garden State Parkway. Rutgers has asked its departments to pivot to remote work and learning where possible. University buses will be canceled starting late Sunday, which already happened already. So the list of schools that was closed: Patterson Public Schools, Elizabeth Public Schools, Clifton Public Schools, Bayonne Public Schools, Passaic Public Schools, New York Public Schools, Jersey City Public Schools, Union City Public Schools, NJIT um was has closed its campus with classes going remote. All right. Let's see. I want to wait a minute here. I do want to go over the temperatures before I go on to the yeah, let's go. I want to go over this. Let's go over this though. The people who have power outages. Some New Jersey and some New York and New Jersey residents won't see their power come back for hours or even days, according to estimates from utility companies on Monday afternoon that took place. So tens of thousands of customers remain in the dark as the region began digging itself out from the biggest blizzard in years. New Jersey remained the hardest hit with nearly 40,000 JCP and L customers without service by 5 p.m. that took place on Monday. That number had fluctuated at times, but was still tens of thousands less than earlier in the afternoon. The bulk of JCP and L outages were along the Jersey Shore in Monmouth and Ocean counties. The utility has fewer customers in Burlington County, but nearly a quarter of 15,000 people it serves there were without power as of about 5 p.m. as well. Chris Honig, a spokesperson for the utility, said JCP and L workers were able to restore power to 30,000 customers between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. alone. Most of JCP and L's outages were related to strong winds and down trees. Honig added. Northern New Jersey customers should mostly see their power back by Monday night. A company spokesperson said Burlington and Southwestern Ocean County customers weren't expected to see power come back until late Tuesday, which already happened. Other areas in Ocean and Monmouth counties, the company was estimating service would return midday Wednesday. The National Weather Service has observed wind gusts upward to 70 miles per hour on Long Island and 60 miles per hour along the Jersey Shore. In New York City, Con Edison was estimating Staten Island customers would have power back by about 5 p.m. Monday, and Manhattan customers would see restorations by about 8 p.m. Westchester was expected to see power restored that took place on Monday evening as well. The company was still seeing about 2,700 customers without power throughout its service area around 5 p.m. Monday. But Con Ed said Bronx customers experiencing outages would likely not see power restored that took place Tuesday morning. This includes Brooklyn and Queens. Not all parts of Queens were affected by the outages. Could take until Tuesday morning. Yeah, that Tuesday. Yeah. So in New York, Long Island, and the Rockaway saw the most outages. PSEG affected customers in Nassau and Suffolk counties, where about 5,000 people were without service at 5 p.m. to come back late Monday evening, but they didn't have estimates for the nearly 4,000 people still without power in the Rockaways. PSE and G said it had restored power to approximately 54,000 customers since Sunday morning and reported about 1,400 customers remain without power without service as of 8 p.m. that took place on Monday. The utility said most restorations were expected by late Tuesday morning. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill said about 5,000 utility workers were on the ground to respond to outages. She said many local companies recruited workers from out of state to help with the effects of the snow. With the heavy, wet snow and winds we're expecting, we knew we'd have some power outages, she said on WNYC's morning edition early Monday. Unfortunately, that's been the case. Later Monday morning on NBC4, Cheryl said many residents were still without power, but we have seen a lot of incredible work by those utility workers restoring over 130,000 people back to power. Um, New York City has opened several warming centers for residents in the Rockaways who have no electricity. New York City Emergency Management said people without power can stay warm at Far Rockaway High School, Beach Channel High School, or PS 43. Con Edison spokesperson Elizabeth Ferrari said the main causes of the New York City outages were the winds and rolled salt mixing with melting snow. She said the utility has hired outside workers to maintain electricity during the extreme weather. Ferrari also urged the public to stay away from downed wires and report them to Con Ed or 911. Customers can report outages at coned.com or by calling 1-800-752-6633. Around 160 Orange and Rockland utilities customers had no power as of around 4 p.m., whilst Central Hudson had almost completely restored power by that time, with just 9 customers reporting outages. Orange and Rockland crews are on standby as assessing cases as they rise. Spokesperson Vito Signorile said. He said wind toppling trees onto power lines has caused most of the company's outages. Central Hudson spokesperson Joe Jenkins said workers were responding to outages as they were reported. He said the company is closely monitoring conditions and will handle outages throughout the day as safely and efficiently as possible. So, yeah. So, there you go, right there. All right. Okay. Now I do want to go over the recent snow totals. Um the snow totals that happened actually. So I want to actually go over that. Let me see. Let me take a look here, man. All right. All right. So let me see. Let me see something here. Hold on. Um all right, so let's go over the snow totals for the areas of Long Island. First and foremost, I want to go over the snow totals from where I'm staying, which is Laurelton, Queens, New York. The snow totals for Laurelton, Queens, New York. Let me see. Let me see what the snow totals are, man. Just trying to look for it. Damn. Damn. Hold on. Yeah. Let me hold on. Hold on 1 second here. Let's take a look here. Hold on. Sorry about that. Snow totals for Laurelton, New York. Okay. Okay, snow total. Let's take a look at the snow totals and stuff. If I could find, let me see. Yeah, I remember now actually. For Laurelton, where I live, we had between 18 to 24 inches of snow. I remember now. East Meadow, Long Island, New York had about 1.3. Wait, 1.3? Are you kidding me? Yeah, 1.3. Nah, that's 24 hours. No, hold on, man. It had more than that. And hold on one second. I gotta check something. Yeah, so yeah, I think I got it right here actually. So East Meadow has 16.7 inches of snow, followed by Westbury 17 inches, 17.7, 17.1 inches of snow. Mineola 17.0 inches of snow. Garden City 16.6 inches of snow. Jericho Turnpike 17.6 inches of snow. And of course, Laurelton, Queens, New York, between 18 to 24 inches of snow. So there you go, right there. You go, right there. I got it now. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Um, trying to remember if there's anything else. If there's anything else. Uh, Metro area blizzards and stuff. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, Boston got affected. Wow. Wow. Boston got affected with the power outages. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, Metro North is running. Yeah, Metro North is running on a holiday schedule with weekend schedules in place on branch lines, while the Long Island Railroad and New Jersey Transit are shut down. Yeah, because they're actually trying to clear the tracks and the third rail because you don't want the third rail and the tracks to be covered with snow, even though there's going to be more. So that's that's crazy, man. Um, the biggest blizzard, January 2011 blizzard. Wow. Since 2011, Manhattan had 19.7 inches of snow. Manhattan green space. Damn. The Big Apple. That's crazy. That's crazy right there, man. Queens snowfall with 23 inches. Damn. Bronx, Mount Haven, 23.4 inches. Brooklyn, 22.5 inches. Whitestone was the king of Queens snowfall with 23 inches. Damn. This is crazy, man. Crazy, man. That's insane, man. Anyway, let's get to some other topics to talk about here. Let me make sure I got everything lined up here. Hold on. Let's see if I got everything lined up here. Transit detoured. Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah. Oh wow! Wait a minute here. Naked. Wait, hold on. Naked cowboy staying warm in Times Square. Let me see if I have that. Let me see if I have that though. Let me see. Let me see if I have that story. Oh boy. That's insane. This is insane, man. Oh, wait. Let me get that. Let me get that story, man, because that's insane. That's fucking insane right there. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Boy. Okay. Yeah, East Village. Yeah. East Village got it bad too. Each Village got it bad too. Um, yeah. Warming buses. Okay. All right. Naked cowboy keeping warm in Times Square. Let's take a look at this. This is wow. Okay. This was 2 days ago. Wow. Naked cowboy. Okay. All right. I'm going to actually get into this next segment right here. All right, I'm gonna get into this next segment right here because this is pretty weird, man. You know what I mean? So this is very weird. Anyway, all right, all right. All right. Come on. All right. All right. So let's get into chatting on the jazz. Okay. All right. We gotta get into hold on a second if I could. Okay, we need to get into yeah, we need to get into a recent passing that happened. One of the members from Kiss, one of the members from Kiss had passed away, unfortunately. We gotta talk about this. He goes by the name Ace Frehley. So let's get into it right here. Ace Frehley's cause of death has been revealed weeks after his death. The founding Kiss member died of blunt trauma injuries to his head due to a fall, the Morris County Medical Examiner confirmed in a report obtained by People that took place on Monday, November the 10th. The manner of death was ruled an accident. Frehley was 74. Oh, damn. Damn. Damn, damn. That's terrible. That's terrible, man. Yeah, that's terrible, man. Let's that's terrible. Yeah. TMZ was first to report the news. Yeah. Um Freely's family announced his death in a statement shared with People on October 6th that took place on October 16th, saying that the rocker born Paul Frehley died earlier that day in Morristown, New Jersey, following a recent fall at his home. TMZ previously reported that the rocker was on life support due to a brain bleed caused by a fall several weeks prior. Um, yeah, brain bleed. That's that's one of the the medical emergencies that Jamie Foxx had previously, but he's better now anyway. But let's continue. We are completely devastated and heartbroken. In his last moments, we were fortunate enough to have been able to surround him with loving, caring, peaceful words, thoughts, prayers, and intentions as he left this earth, the statement read. It continued, we cherish all of his finest memories, his laughter, and celebrate his strengths and kindness that he bestowed upon others. The magnitude of his passing is of epic proportions and beyond comprehension. Reflecting on all of his incredible life achievements, Ace's memory will continue to live on forever. Freely told fans about the fall, which he described as minor in a statement shared to Instagram that took place on September 25th, writing at the time that he would need to cancel a performance schedule for the next day in Lancaster, California, on doctor's orders. Aces looks forward to continuing on his tour and finishing work on his next album, Origins Volume 4, the statement read. Then on October 6th, Freely canceled the rest of his 2025 tour dates due to ongoing medical issues. Freely, known for his spaceman persona and makeup in Kiss, co-founded the group in 1973 and left in 1982. After departing Kiss, the New York groove singer formed his own group called Freely's Comet, which put out two albums and launched a successful solo career that began in 1978 with a platinum selling self-titled debut. With Space Invaders in 2014, he became the only Kiss member to crack the top 10 on of the Billboard 200 chart with a solo album, according to his biography. In a 2024 interview with Guitar World, the guitarist opened up about what would turn out to be his final album, saying it would make his former Kiss bandmates Im- imbeccable look like imbeciles. Oh wow. Paul and Gene have tried to destroy my reputation over the years. We know that. And unfortunately for them, 10,000 volts is going to make them look like imbeciles. He told the outlet, oh shit, Kiss hasn't put out a record since 2012. And here I am, 17 years sober, and it's my sixth record since leaving Kiss. I keep chugging along and nobody can stop me. Creating amazing music is the best way to help someone putting you down. That's how I shut them up. 1 week after his death, an, an intimate memorial celebrating the life of the legendary rock star took place in New York City's Bronx borough, where he was born. Kiss co-founders Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and Peter Criss were all in attendance. In an October 23rd Instagram post, SiriusXM personality Eddie Trunk and longtime friend of the band, who also attended the funeral, posted a photo of a memorial prayer card citing a Bible verse that was shared in loving memory of Paul Ace D. Frehley Trunk. Trunk wrote in a caption, at Ace Frehley official has now been laid to rest in the Bronx, New York. It has been an emotional couple of days, to say the least, saying farewell to a rock icon and longtime friend. All of the services went as well as they could and were attended by a small group of family and close friends, including the three surviving original members of Kiss Online, he continued. Trunk, age 61, revealed in his tribute that Frehley's family did give me the okay to pursue a tribute show, fan celebration at some point that he described as important for Ace's legacy, his fans, and the countless guitar players he influenced. Ending his tribute, Trunk wrote, "For now, crank up the music and remember and celebrate Ace for all he gave us and left us with." Um, Freely is survived by his daughter Monique and wife Jeanette Trey Rotola. Wow. Anyway, man, rest in paradise to um to Freely. All right, to Ace Freely. Rest in power. All right. Oh my goodness, man. And speaking of which though, man. So I'm pretty sure some of you may remember the naked cowboy that's always in Times Square, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all do. But but in this case, in this case right here, we need to really talk about that as well. So we need to talk about that now. Okay, so let me just lighten the mood here after the passing and stuff. So let's lighten the mood here. So the naked cowboy, Times Square's most famous underwear clad entertainer, was determined not to let one of New York City severe blizzard stop him on Monday. He's crazy, man. A day earlier, Mayor Zohran Mamdani described the incoming blizzard as having the potential to be one of the top 10 snowfall events in the history of New York City. Oh man. Still, this did not dissuade Big Apple eccentric icon, the naked cowboy, whose real name is um Robert Burke, from strutting his stuff in the near buff. I come out every day because that's what I fucking do. The worse it is, the better it is. A confident Burke told AM New York as he stood in the middle of the roadway on 45th Street and Broadway. He's crazier than the polar bear crew. He's crazier than the polar bear club that go to the beach on a cold, wintry weather conditions. It's ridiculous. As usual, he wore nothing but his iconic white briefs and strummed his guitar as tourists, intrepid enough themselves to face the blizzard, flocked to his side for memorable photographs. Some literally brought their gloved hands to their mouths and gasped as they saw the near nude standing tall under the bright lights and heavy snowfall. Oh boy. Ridiculous, man. And this person's so how are you doing this? It's so cold, one British tourist asked, God gobsmacked. I was totally killing it till you told me that, he joked. For for some 20 minutes, Burke straddled the thin line between entertainment and hypothermia. But he told AM New York, and quote, I will let you in on a little secret. Wading through the freshly fallen blanket and slush left by traffic, he strolled into a nearby parking garage and pulled out an insulated jacket. He then began jumping and jogging on the spot by the garage pipes. It's how I warm up, he said. It's hard to warm up. I am cheating. Next came the preparation to head back out into the storm. He hyped himself up by lifting weights and performing push-ups before checking his reflection in his car window and heading heading back into the squall for round two. Oh boy. Yeah, this guy's nuts, man. Again, he was greeted by locals and visitors alike, who were left stunned by his unbothered stance amid the whiteout. And quote, the temperature is one thing, snow is another thing. It can be 30 degrees up for anything, nothing's going on. But then all of a sudden, it's snowing. It can be 10. I don't recognize it, Burke said. When it's freezing balls, but it's snowing and I get attention. Those things have more qu- um, those things have more qualitative properties than the things you are paying attention to, like the temperature. I'm alive, bro. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness, man. Oh shit. Oh Lord. This is too wow. 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 Oh boy. Oh shit. Wow. Yeah, don't try this at home, man. Do not try this shit at home. Believe me, you do not want to have hypothermia, man. You do not want that shit. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's two things to talk about here, actually. So, yeah, yeah, the snow in Connecticut. You know, hold on. I'm gonna hold that, or I'm gonna hold that off. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna have time to look for it though. Snow in Connecticut. I'm not too sure, but before I do that, I want to make sure that actually. Oh boy. Um. Oh boy. Yeah, not so sure. All right. Let me take a look at snow totals. Snow totals by town. Um. Yeah. So yeah. So for Connecticut, um, Lyme got 19.5 inches. New Fairfield 19.5 inches. Westbrook 19.0 inches. New Hilford 18.0. Old Saybrook 18.0, and New Haven. Oh boy, Fairfield. What is it? Fairfield County. New Fairfield 3.0 inches. Easton 2.8 inches. Shelton 2.5 inches. New Canaan 2.4 inches. Norwalk 2.4 inches. Greenwich 2.2 inches. Richfield 1.2 inches. Let me see. See what the hell's going on here. I remember Fairfield Easton. Yeah. Yeah, Waterbury. Wait, water. Yeah, so Richfield. Yeah. Yeah. Richfield 1.2 inches, Middlesex County. Hold on. This is all right. Fairfield County, Middlesex County, Clinton 2.2 inches, Westbrook 1.5 inches, New Haven County, um, Ansonia 2.2 inches, Hamden 2.1 inches, Guilford 2.0 inches, North Haven 2.0, Waterbury 1.5 inches, New London County, Gales Ferry 1.3 inches, Hartford County, Marlboro, like the cigarettes, 1.6 inches, Bradley Airport 1.3 inches, um, Tallinn County, Staffordville 2.4 inches, Tallinn 2.0 inches, Vernon 1.5, um, Whittam, Whit, Wyndham County, Pomfret 1.5 inches, Lynchfield County, Woodbury 2.5 inches, Northville 2.5 inches, Warren 2.3 inches. What about Stanford? Hold on. What about Stanford? I'm take a look right now, actually. What about Stanford? All right. Yeah, um, Bridgeport 20 inches, Clinton 17 inches, Brantford 18.5 inches. This is for Connecticut, actually, for those of you who may not know. Yeah. Clinton, 17 inches. Columbia, 12.4 inches. Cornwall Bridge, 15 inches. Danbury, 18 inches. Durham, 16 inches. Easton, 16 inches. Farmington, 10.3 inches. Greenwich, 16 inches. Guilford, 18 inches. Madison, 22.1 inches. Marlboro, like the cigarette, 17 inches. Mystic, 24 inches. New Fairfield, 21 inches. New Haven, 16.1 inches. New London, 21.5 inches. New Milford, 16.2 inches. Newtown, 12 inches. North Granby, 7.5 inches. North Haven, 16 inches. North Stonington, 30.8 inches. Old Lyme, 18 inches. Oxford, 16.5 inches. Plainfield, 27 inches. Stanford, 16 inches. Tallinn, 15.5 inches. Union, 13.3 inches. Vernon, 12.3 inches. Westbrook, 19 inches. Wethersfield, 13 inches. And Winstead, 14.5 inches. Damn. Damn. All right. So now that I got that out the way, now that I got that out the way, I want to actually let me see, what else do I have to talk about here? Let me make sure I don't miss out on any topics. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about the two beverages. Yeah, we'll talk about that though, man. And this is, yeah, so of course, obviously, this episode is titled "This Soda Has 30 Flavors," which is provided by Truly Unruly Beverage. All right, so let's get into that. Let's get into that right there. Let's get into that right there. Now, for those of you who may not know what it's all about, I want to actually get into it. This is basically truly hard seltzer. The website, truly seltzer, trulyhardseltzer.com. Now, about Truly, what's in the can? Good question. The short answer, a whole lot. Inside every can of Truly is a fresh adventure just waiting to be opened. Um, that's because you never know where your next sip will take you. Not just drinkers, dreamers. If that sounded a little dramatic, good. We want you to feel important. After all, you truly lovers are the reason we do all this. Well, that and the morning tasting sessions. Hey, we can't say no to a noon happy hour. At this party, everyone is welcomed. When you are here, you are family. Wait, someone already used that. Okay, let's put it this way. If you are a truly fan, you are welcome here. Just promise us you'll keep the vibes high and the drinks cold. Look on the light side. The way we see it, every solution has a light side. Speakers in the bar are broken. No worries. This is exactly why you've been practicing karaoke in your shower for the past 25 years. Don't worry, live truly. Our philosophy is simple: look forward and recline backward. After all, life's too short to worry that much. So consider this your cue. Kick your feet up, crack open a can, and drink all in. Now let's go over the flavors that they got here. Let's go over the flavors that they have here. So you got, okay, light flavor berry mix pack. So you got berry mix pack, you got wild berry, you got cherry, blueberry, strawberry lime, citrus mix pack, you got lime and grapefruit, lemon and Truly Citrus Squeeze. Party Pack Raspberry Truly Citrus Squeeze. Pineapple Watermelon. Truly Ruly Mix Pack. You got Unruly Strawberry Smash. Unruly Tropical Twist. You got Unruly Berry Blast. Unruly Citrus Crush. Truly Unruly Lemonade Mix Pack. Unruly Bumpin' Blue Raz. Unruly OG Original Lemonade. Unruly Punched Up Pineapple. Unruly Wild Pink Lemonade. Now for the bold flavor lemonade mix pack. Lemonade mix pack includes original lemonade and strawberry lemonade, black cherry lemonade, and tropical lemonade. The punch mix pack includes berry punch and citrus punch, alongside with fruit punch and tropical punch. All right, so the dream pack includes citrus clouds, strawberry stardust, raspberry rainbow, and pineapple daydream. Now, nutrition facts. Let's check this out. What's in every can of Truly Hard Seltzer? Truly Hard Seltzer is a clean, crisp, and refreshing hard seltzer with a hint of real fruit juice from concentrate and other natural fruit flavors. Truly Hard Seltzer is crafted with simple, naturally gluten-free ingredients and contains alcohol made from sugarcane. The details, if you are into reading nutritional labels, we got them right here. Contains 2% juice. Nutritional facts: 8 servings per container. Serving size: 12 fluid ounces. 355 milliliters. Amount per serving: calories 100%. Excuse me, 100. So there's no total fat. Sodium is 30 milligrams, 1%. Total carbohydrate, that's 3 grams, 1%. Total sugars, 1 gram, includes 1 gram added sugars, no. Protein, no. Not a significant source of saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, dietary, fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. So there you go right there. All right, so there you go right there. There you go right there. All right, so if you'd like to check it out, if you'd like to check out the flavors and stuff, you can go to www.trulyhardseltzer.com/ that's www.trulyhardseltzer.com, so you can check out the flavors and everything else that they have. All right, so there you go. It sounds pretty delicious though, but this one right here, Chinese mustard martini, which is very weird. This is the weirdest shit that I ever seen. This is the weirdest shit that I ever seen, man. This vodka martini recipe from the team at House of the Red Pearl is evocative of the classic Chinese American snack: crispy wonton chips dipped in creamy hot mustard. Ooh, that's gonna burn the inside of your mouth. Oh shit. All right, so the ingredients includes 1 1/4 ounces of vodka, 1/2 ounces of mustard brine, 1/2 ounces Lasto Blanco vermouth, 1/4 ounces olive oil. Tools: mixing glass, strainer, glass, Nick and Nora, garnish, sidecar of wonton chips. Oh boy, I hate these cookie shit. Anyway, preparation: add all of the ingredients to a mixing glass with ice, stir to chill, and strain into a chilled glass. Mustard brine: add 1/4 cup of dull and dry vermouth. 2/3 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, 1/2 tablespoon of kosher salt. Don't know what that is. 1 1/3 ounces of mustard powder, and 1/2 cup of filtered water to a non-creative container. Stir with whisk until fully incorporated. Seal and store in the refrigerator where it will keep for 4 weeks. This is crazy, man. Like, why would you put mustard in a fucking drink, man? Like, I'm having a hard time with this thing, man. Oh my goodness, man. Yo, this is kind of weird. This is very weird in a way, though, man. And I'm not. This is so weird. This is very weird, though, man. But oh my goodness, man. Yo, man. If I had something that had hot mustard and stuff, I will be running for the fucking hills right now, man. Yeah, that part, man. That part. Anyway, all right, what else we gotta talk about here, man? I want to actually get into. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So let's go over the Scream 7 trailer. Let's go over the Scream 7 trailer in a hang on a second. Let's go over the Scream trailer in a segment that I like to call the movie Man Cave Popcorn. Let's go. Some of you probably are aware or have not been aware of Scream 7 that's coming out this Friday. Now, now there is some information I want to actually share with y'all. So let me just find it right here. Here we go. And this is from entertainmentfocus.com. Let's get into it right here. So, of course, Scream 7 is now coming to UK cinemas on the 26th of February, which is Thursday, one day earlier, previously announced, and a final trailer for the horror sequel has been released. I think this is one of the trailers that's been featured in the Super Bowl 60s ad commercials. Let's see. So the new trailer shares a little footage that fans of the franchise haven't seen yet, including what looks like a gruesome kill at the hands of Ghostface in a bar. The plot details for Screen 7 have been kept tightly under wraps, and the marketing campaign has given very little away, which has both delighted and frustrated fans. Now, the film stars Nerve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Isabel May, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, Anna Camp, Joe McHale, who you may know from Animal Control on Fox 5. Check your local listings. Um, McKenna Grace, Michelle Randolph, Jimmy Tatro, Asa German, Celeste O'Connor, Sam Reckner, Ethan Ambry, Tim Simmons, and Mark Consuelos. Scream 7 sees original screenwriter Kevin Williamson stepping behind the camera to direct. It features a screenplay by Kevin Williamson and Guy Busick from a story by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick. Scream 7 will be released in the UK cinemas on February 26th, and on Friday it will be released on February the 27th in theaters. Now, I didn't get a chance to see the movie trailers during Super Bowl 60. I want to take a look at a recap from Mashable.com. So, the Super Bowl isn't just about touchdowns, it's also Hollywood's most expensive movie night. As millions tune in for Super Bowl 2026, studios seize the moment to unveil new trailers, betting that nothing sells a blockbuster quite like debuting it in the middle of America's biggest TV event. So, what can we expect during this year's big game? Yeah, good question. Yeah, good question. Let me get that out of there. Movie fans are in for a stacked lineup of first looks and TV spots. According to Variety, Disney is putting all its weight behind The Mandalorian and Grogu, which already has a teaser in theaters now and is slated to bring Star Wars back to the Super Bowl stage once again. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day and animated tentpoles like the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Minions 3 are all reported to have new footage during the broadcast. Horror fans should be on the lookout for Scream 7, which I just discussed, which is coming out Friday, February the 27th. And it appears Lionsgate has spent on a pre-game ad spot for the biopic, the Michael Jackson biopic Michael, which is PG-13. Beyond these rumors are swirling about other potential Super Bowl weekend appearances by Pixar films, Toy Story 5, and Hoppers, though nothing is yet guaranteed. This is crazy, man, because as I'm watching one of the videos by Chris from 3C Films, so there's you're gonna in the trailer, you're gonna see the back of Woody's head shining because he's like bald. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy, man. Yo, nobody likes to be bald, man. I know the feeling, man, and I feel Woody's pain. Yeah, I feel Woody's pain, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel his pain. I feel his pain, man. I would have screamed if the back of my head was bald. I would not be happy about that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going here, man. With with the let's keep going with the damn with the recent trailers from the Super Bowl 60 ads for the movies and stuff. So let's keep going with that. Oh shit. Hold on, man. Let's get to hold on. So all Super Mario fans know that Yoshi is small but mighty. Case in point, the latest TV spot for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which features Yoshi going toe to toe, going toe to hold on. Can we get this out of here, please? Anyway, yes, going toe to toe with a giant T-Rex. It's the Minions versus a very bad bunny in Minions and Monsters. Oh wow. Gen Z's favorite little freaks, aka the Minions, are back to cause even more chaos in Minions and Monsters. This time they are summoning monsters because why not? They there's a cute little green guy, a scary looking blue guy, and one very bad bunny, not to be confused with the Bad Bunny, the performer. Oh, and there's a Blackpink needle drop. How you like that? Brad Pitt is Cliff Booth again. Oh boy. Did you see? Hold on. Did the world need a sequel to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? No, not really, but we are getting one anyway. Absolutely. Brad Pitt reprises his standout role as Hollywood stuntman Cliff Booth in Netflix's The Adventures of Cliff Booth, coming to the streamer sometime soon. It looks like it's going to be a wild ride. Let the men know the land. Hold on, I'm sorry. Ugh. Anyway, let the Mandalorian and Grogu show you the way. Um, Grogu is back and he's on the big screen. The Mandalorian and Grogu is set to release in theaters over Memorial Day weekend on May 22nd. Steven Spielberg returns to original sci-fi with Disclosure Day. I don't think anybody would be interested in that. But Spielberg returns with the original sci-fi um, event film Disclosure Day, which imagines a world on the verge of undeniable proof that humans are not alone in the universe and the fear that comes with it. Ghostface is back in Screen 7. Yes, he is. Sydney Prescott, played by Nerve Campbell, thought she'd finally escape her past, but when a new Ghostface killer strikes her quiet town and targets her daughter Isabel May, played by Isabel May, the nightmare begins again. In Screen 7, Sydney is pulled back into the horror she knows all too well. And don't forget that it comes out Friday, February the 27th. Will she end the bloodshed once and for all? We'll have to find out when the film hits theaters later this month. Supergirl reveals Crypto as a puppy and also Krypton. DC has cleverly prepped a crypto forward Supergirl trailer to air during the Puppy Bowl. You also get a glimpse at Krypton, but we know what you are all here for. Project Hail Mary gets a final look. Project Hail Mary, a Ryan Gosling led sci-fi movie based on the 2021 best-selling novel, dropped an extended trailer. In the preview, we see Gosling, Ryland Grace bonding with a rocky looking alien named Rocky as they attempt to save their respective worlds. Shit. Oh yeah, so there you go right there, man. There you go right there. I know some of the movies are coming out in March. So there you go right there, man. All right. I want to start this next segment with something related to TV. Have many of you remembered the old TV show Baywatch? Well, scratching the Baywatch movie reboot that didn't really do well in the box office, but there is going to be a new reboot version of Baywatch coming to Fox 5 and local listings. And from what I read, let me just let's get into the segment right here. TV show checkouts. Now, most of y'all probably remember the TV show that used to be on Channel 9, Baywatch, right? What if I was to tell you that there is a reboot of Baywatch, the TV series that's happening? You know what I mean? So, this is according to the folks from Variety.com. All right, so Fox's reboot of Baywatch is bringing back original series star Cho- David Chokachi. Variety has learned. Chokachi will reprise the role of Cody Madison in the Fox version, where he will appear alongside recently announced series lead Stephen Amell. Amell will play Hobby Buchanan, the son of legendary lifeguard Mitch Buchanan from the original show. Per the official character description, Cody now runs the Shoreline, the unofficially official Baywatch bar and grill, and still puts on the red trunks for the occasional shift, saving lives. He's a mentor to and a friend, providing a second home for his fellow lifeguards and always offering free wings after a big save. And Chokachi starred in Baywatch beginning with the show's sixth season, staying with it through the ninth. He also starred in shows like Witchblade, a TNT, and Noggin surf drama Beyond the Break. His film credits include Atlantic Rim, Psycho Beach Party, and Soul Surfer. He is rep by Link Entertainment and Singular Talent. Baywatch was picked up for the 2026 and 2027 broadcast season by Fox back in September 2025 with a 12 episode order. Fox is set to host an open casting call for the show that took place on February 18th, with production set to begin this spring in Los Angeles, California. Matt Nix is the showrunner and an executive producer on the reboot, along with MCG, Michael Burke, Greg Bonin, Doug Schwartz, Dante Di Loretto, and Mike Horowitz. MCG will also direct the series premiere episode. The series is co-produced by Fox Entertainment and Fremantle. At its peak, Baywatch was the most watched show in the world, airing in over 200 countries. The assembled cast included David Hasselhoff as head lifeguard, Mitch Buchanan, and helped launch the acting careers of stars like Pamela Anderson, Jason Momoa, Yasmin Bleeth, and Carmen Electra. The show also spawned the short-lived spin-off Baywatch Nights and was rebooted as a feature film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Zac Efron in 2017. Now, there's no release date on when that comes out, but if I hear anything about a release date on the Baywatch Fox reboot TV series, I will circle back in the future. All right. And I will circle back. All right. And let me see. Yeah. So there you go right there, man. I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go into some video game news, and whatever topic I don't get a chance to talk about will be in a future episode. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So, all right. All right. Let's get into the next segment right here, which is, hold on one second here, folks. So I get rid of this. All right. Now, the video game entertainment newsroom. Let's get into it right here. Right now. Come on. All right. Let's get into some PlayStation news. The first PlayStation Plus free game of March 2026 has been revealed early by a leak from a very reliable source with a 100% track record of leaking PS Plus free games early. More specifically, the headliner of the monthly PlayStation Plus games lineup for March, and judging by the headliner, it is going to be a disappointing month for the Sony subscription servers and those on PS4 and PS5 subscribe to it. More specifically, a new report from well-known insider Bill Kunn has revealed that 2K Games PGA Tour 2K25 is set to headline the PlayStation Plus monthly free games lineup next month. What will join it? The insider does not say. Adding to this, the new report claims the lineup will be officially unveiled by Sony, which is February 25th, which is today, which is this Wednesday. Now, if you have deja vu, it is because the series previous installment PGA Tour 2K23 was also offered with PlayStation Plus back in 2023. Okay. PGA PGA Tour 2K25 was released in 2025 by developer HB Studios and publisher 2K Games for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. This year, it also came to Nintendo Switch 2. It is the sixth installment in the PGA Tour 2K series, which dates back to 2014, as you would expect. It is also the latest installment. Upon release, it earned a 79 on Metacritic, a solid score, but higher than it deserves, according to user reviews. To this end, on Steam, it is it only has a 69% approval rating. Meanwhile, on the PlayStation Store and Xbox Store, it has a 3 out of 5, 3/5, and 2/5, respectively, to accompany its decent critical response. It was notably nominated for Sports Game of the Year at the 29th Annual DICE Awards by the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. This is obviously a notable achievement, however, undermined by a lack of competition in the category. All right, so um, with this offer, PlayStation Plus subscribers are set to be spared from a $70 purchase of the game, assuming they would purchase it in the first place or pay full price. Those on PS5 Pro specifically will not find that this free download comes with any enhancements. In the meantime, don't forget to grab February's free PS Plus games. All of that said, be sure to take this new leak with a grain of salt. While the source in question has never been off the mark in the past, it doesn't change the fact that none of this is official information. Meanwhile, as always, feel free to leave a comment letting us know what you think, or join the conversation over the comic book forum. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we got to talk about here. Let's see what else we got to talk about here. Let me see. And let me see. Okay. 35th anniversary. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, so according to Screen Rant, with the next major theatrical film in the franchise currently scheduled to premiere next March, and other exciting collaborations and future projects confirmed to be in the works, it appears 2026 will be another good year for Sonic the Hedgehog fans. The iconic speedster has headlined several exciting titles since 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog kicked off the franchise's latest renaissance. Now, after a hugely successful run in the comics with 2025's DC and X and Sonic the Hedgehog, the two franchises are scheduled to reunite once again in the series continuation titled DC and Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion. The next entry in the limited series will launch on May 5th. Keep an eye on that date. DC and Sonic the Hedgehog is returning in 2026. Sonic's latest comic collaboration is speeding towards a May 2026 release. DC and Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion will be another 5-issue limited series that will act as a direct continuation to its 2025 debut. Last year, the series brought both franchises' most iconic characters together when Sonic and friends received help from the Justice League against a shared enemy in Darkseid. This time, mysterious mechanical rings appear, which link both universes,
And though the heroes are glad to be reunited once more, it's revealed that a hidden enemy is pulling the strings from the shadows. Ian Flynn, the head writer of the Archie and IDW Sonic comics, is returning to the series, joined again by artist Adam Bryce Thomas. Flynn commented in quote, "I had an absolute blast the last time around. I'm really happy that the tease we left at the end of the first crossover is finally coming to fruition. I hope everyone enjoys the second go around as much as I did writing." That shit sounds fun to watch. Um, all right, so DC and Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion will debut with a 32-page first issue available for purchase on May 5th, 2026. Fans can expect more Sonic characters as DC heroes in the series' upcoming continuation. Let's see. So we have 2026 will be a big year for Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega's iconic speedster is celebrating his 35th anniversary in 2026. 2026 is Sonic the Hedgehog's 35th anniversary, and fans of the franchise expect many other releases to join DC and Sonic the Hedgehog later this year. The celebration began with the digital release of Sonic Racing Crossworlds in September 2025, the physical release of which is scheduled for March 2026. The soft launch of Sonic Blitz, a mobile game from Rovio and Sega, was recently discontinued for further development and is expected to release globally later this year. Fans are also suspecting that a new mainline game is in the works to celebrate the Sonic franchise's latest milestone. Sonic the Hedgehog fans will have plenty to keep themselves busy in the coming year as they wait patiently for the franchise's fourth major film installment, including the upcoming continuation of the DC and Sonic the Hedgehog comic series, launching in May 2026. Yeah, by the way, man, in the following episode, I am going to talk about the delay of Sonic the Hedgehog 4 and who the voice actress is going to be, who's playing Amy Rose. I will talk about that in one of the following episodes, man. And the delay to a different date. So stay tuned for that. Also, speaking of Sonic, though, man, there is a Sonic the Hedgehog presents the Chaotix Files podcast that's going on YouTube, and you can also listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Um, you can also listen to it on any streaming platform, which includes iHeartRadio. You have your YouTubes, whatever streaming platforms you have. Check out the episodes. Check out the episodes of Sonic the Hedgehog presents the Chaotix um the Chaotix case files. All right. All right. So I think I'm gonna wrap up right here, man. I want to wrap up right here with one more thing I need to address here, man. I want to address this real quick before I wrap up here. Actually. So in case anybody doesn't know, Uncle Ralph's birthday is Friday, February 27th, but he is going to be at the Brooklyn Bowl in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. This is going to take place tomorrow. And I want y'all to hurry up and get your tickets. Tickets is out right now. Go to www.brooklynbowl.com, and this is pertaining to Uncle Ralph McDaniels and Late Development presents Uncle Ralph McDaniels and Friends. All right. Now I want to break down who's gonna be there. Actually, I want to break down who's gonna be there. Let me just find out who's gonna be there. Let me find out who's gonna be there. Let me find out who's gonna. I'm gonna find out who's gonna be there for you folks at home. Let me find out. Let me find out who's gonna be there. Actually, yes. So there's gonna be a birthday concert that features Havoc from Mobb Deep, Lil Fame, MOP, Straff, Parrish Smith of EPMD, Roxanne Shante, DJ Chuck Chill Out, Cool Chip, The Fearless, The Fearless. Let me see who else is gonna be there. Let me find out who's gonna be there because I'm like trying to figure this out myself. Let's see. So I can get a full disclosure. Broken Bowl website. Let's take a look. And yeah, so I guess there's gonna be more. Hold on, let me just see this. Yeah, so Cool V Straff, The Fearless, 4 special performances and surprise guests. Of course, Paper Planes X Video Music Box Unlimited T release. So yes, hold on. There's also Mardi Gras birthday concert that's going down, as well as the so there it is right there. So hurry up and get your tickets. It's the doors open at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. So go to brooklynbowl.com to get your tickets. All right. And happy birthday to Uncle Ralph McDaniels from Video Music Box. All right. There you go. All right. We're going to wrap this up right here, right now, with the very last segment, which is, hold on a second. If I can find it. Yes, stream choices on the go, man. Let's go. All right, you know the routine, folks. Make sure you hang on a second. Yes, make sure you basically follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on Facebook, Bluesky Social, alongside with Threads and Instagram. The same goes for my other podcast shows that I do, which includes my sports platform show, Excellent, Fun, Vibrant Talks podcast, alongside with my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. And of course, you can also follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York, on Threads and Instagram. All right, so you can also go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/G Money Stacks 555. Let me just find it. Let me just look for it. And you're gonna see a whole list of audio streaming platform podcast feeds. I would gladly go over it with you. Starting with Odyssey, Audible, Audio Burst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and a positive review on there. It really helps me a lot as the host, multiple podcast shows, including this one. And we're on The comedy show is also on Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM podcast, Overall FM podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snip. You can also listen. You can also add the podcast to your Spotify playlist. Make sure you press the notification bell so you know when each episode will be dropping. And of course, be sure to also listen to the episodes on Spotify for creators, TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists, such as rappers, singers in R&B, pops, and alongside with pop stars, different music genres, hip hop artists, your favorite radio AM and FM stations, and of course you can listen to the podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is grab your phones, download iHeartRadio onto your iPhones, Android phones, alongside with iPads, Android tablets, laptops includes Apple, Mac, and Dell laptop models, including Windows 10 and Windows 11. And yes, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks 555, so you don't miss out on any new video podcast episode live stream recordings. And alongside with leaving a like and a comment, tell me how you feel about today's episode and previous episodes, and of course tell me what your favorite topics is in each episode and this episode. All right, you can also share the Linktree link with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work, your friends, and alongside with sharing the videos. You can even download the episodes. You can also download the episodes as well. And of course, don't forget to enable alerts. Yeah, enable alerts in terms of, when I'll be on the air via live stream. And of course, new episodes will be recorded. And of course, episodes will be dropped on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on every streaming platform, including iHeartRadio and YouTube as well. So there you go. Now I'm about to wrap up this podcast right here. That's gonna do it for me. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. Thank you very much for listening to to episode 443. You could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this podcast right here. Now, remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. You have to work hard and earn it. So, what you need to do is follow your goals and dreams. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. And just follow your heart. And of course, if you plan on starting a podcast, be sure to be yourself behind the microphone, and alongside with recording your episodes and topics, and be on your P's and Q's creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. And like I said earlier, man, don't forget to get your tickets to the Brooklyn Bowl Uncle Ralph McDaniels is going to be there. Go to www.brokenbowl.com because his birthday is on Friday. He's going to be celebrating. He's going to be celebrating with some musical performances and some surprises and stuff. So if you want to go, make sure you get your tickets right now because the doors are going to be open around 6 p.m. and it's going to go down at 8 p.m. So there you go right there, man. And I want to give a birthday shout out once more before I get up out of here. Happy birthday to the well-known director who directed 2 Nas music videos, producer, VJ, DJ, Uncle Ralph McDaniels, man. Happy birthday, man. Want to give you some love right here, man. I'm out of here. Peace and one love. And stay tuned for more new episodes. Actually, stay tuned for more new topics in the next episode. And of course, stay safe out there. Be vigilant. We might be getting more snow. And stuff this week and possibly next week. Hope you have your salt and shovels and everything ready. And don't forget to shovel the Johnny pumps, aka the fire hydrants, so that way it won't get frozen off. So there you go right there. Peace and one love. And as Ken Stars always say, have a good night, everybody.